My main concern is that I want us to be able to look at decimals and be able to tell what's worth more. What's the bigger number? So we're starting with decimals where we have a 0 in the ones place on all the numbers on this page. There's always a 0 in the ones place. So you can kind of think of these numbers as like $0 and how many cents do you have? And that kind of works for the first few. So when we compare these numbers, we want to look at the digits in order after the decimal point, because that's the most valuable place. That's the tenths column. So it doesn't matter if you have a number like this, 0.2 and you get like all these decimals. It just uses a lot of decimal places to show its amount. And sometimes you'll get that when you kind of divide fractions and create your own decimals. You'll get like 0.33333333333333333, and that looks like a really big number. But if I compared it to 0.4, 0.4 is bigger because it has a bigger number in the tenths place. So all we care about is who has the bigger number in the tenths place. And if those numbers are the same, then who has the biggest number in the next place? So in this example I just made, 0.34 would still be bigger than 3333333. Let's do a couple of these together. So we have 0.16, 0.86, and 0.05. So we want to order them from least to greatest, which means the smallest one comes first. So I'm looking at the tenths column, and I see a 0. So that's definitely going to be my smallest number, 0.05. That should look more like a 0. And then there's a 1 in the tenths column, which is definitely smaller than an 8. So I have 0.16, and then I have 0.86. Okay, let's do one more. I'm going to use the text feature to make my writing a little bit easier to read. So here, again, I'm just going to go back to scribbling. I'm looking at the number right after the decimal. So there is a 0 in the ones column, so they're all less than 1. And this has a 6, and this has an 8, and this one has a 2. Don't look at this as 24 and 8 and 6. If you need to do that, this would be 24 hundredths. This would actually be 80, and this would be 60. So we're always looking at just that first number. So I'm going to use the text box, like I said, and we'll pop that here. So the 2 is actually the smallest. So 0.24, that's the smallest. 0.6 comes in second place, and 0.8 comes in third place. We'll look at one more. So once again, we are looking at the tenths column, and then we're just ordering the numbers. So 2 is the smallest, 0.2, and then it's either a 6 or a 5. 5 is smaller than 6, and 6 is the smallest. Okay, you can work your way through this one.